Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to my presentation about homelessness, why it's a problem, and how we can combat it. So, why it's a problem? For one, it looks bad whenever they just block up the scenery at the beach. Number two, it smells bad. I don't know if you've been near a homeless camp, but it smells like marijuana and trash and dirt. And three, it's pretty freaky when they tweak out whenever I'm walking down the street towards Longs or Foodland. So, how to get this bad? For one, high cost of living, and number two, unaffordable slash limited rent and housing. So, previous endeavors to solve these problems was to reform the Jones Act. Ultimately, this failed to get reformed. Number two was permanent housing, which was a good initiative, but they failed to address the main problem of the high cost of living and high rent. Number three, they tried rent supplement programs, which is alright, but it still fails to address the main concerns like number two. So what should we do? Well, I believe that reforming the Jones Act, deregulating the housing market, and having the government make smarter decisions would drastically help solve homelessness. Okay, the Jones Act. So the Jones Act is just basically all foreign vehicles like ships and freight liners and airliners have to reach the mainland US before going to Hawaii. That counts for Alaska too, which costs a lot of money for our government and populace. So reforming the Jones Act save Hawaii and its government a lot of money. It would decrease the cost of living. Deregulating housing. So specifically zoning laws and permit requirements. There's actually a lot of land in Hawaii that can be used for housing. It just hasn't been zoned or meets requirements for constructing that, or the permitting process is taking like a really long time. So deregulating the zoning laws and making the permitting process or requirements like more streamlined or quicker would allow more houses to be propped up, increase the amount of houses on the island, and reduce the cost of each house because of the abundance, and would decrease the cost of housing and rent. Smarter government spending or spending decisions. Originally, I wanted to put lowering taxes, but Josh Green just decreased taxes earlier this month, and some of the opponents are saying, how are we supposed to afford this? Well, maybe not spend billions on a rail that nobody or barely anybody uses, and basically have stops in like the middle of nowhere. That way we can support this lower taxes with just smarter government decisions. So what would change? Well, the government would spend their money more wisely, and would spend money on things more useful like permanent housing for the homeless. Even though permanent housing is not efficient, it's like better than what the rail is. So what I'd do? For one, I'd send an email or letter to the local state government, like congressman or state governor, and just address the issue within that letter. And if that doesn't work, I'll probably make an Instagram account and just post stuff to spread awareness. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Hope this was informational. And yeah, have a good day.